Hello, I'm Mark. Welcome to Geeks Unleashed. This is episode 235. So each week on the Geeks Unleashed podcast, we catch up on our pop culture lives. We bring you some movie news, some trailer reactions sometimes, and a movie review. This week's movie review is Supergirl, which just came out just over a week ago. I'm also joined every week by some amazing guests, returning as fairly regularly. Devaughn, you all right, mate?
Hello, how are you?
How's it going, brother? You all right? A good week?
Sir. Good week. Hot week here.
Hot week.
In North
you know what? I
Carolina,
considered
hot.
something similar. But I wasn't sure about the head, but I was considering becoming beardless.
Yes.
But speaking of beardless, Laurence is also here.
Hey guys.
Hey, all right.
Glad to be back.
Laurence is back. Laurence came on probably like a month ago now, I think. So,
yeah. Like 3 weeks ago or something.
Yeah,
Drive.
It's gone fast, man. The year is disappearing. It's Christmas next week.
Yep.
I'm sure the stores will start for it.
Putting their stuff up. Yeah.
I always find it crazy that, like, you know, for instance, Halloween, the 1st of November, all the Christmas decks come out. I'm like, man.
So it's funny. I have insider because I work at a grocery store. So it's kind of obvious why they do it, right? So like if you wait to order that stuff, you're not going to get it in time for the holiday. So that's why they order it all early and then they put it out. That way they can get through all their stock, because once you're stuck with it, you can't resell that stuff the next year, because new stuff will be out the next year for like the same holiday. So you have to get rid of your stock. It's crazy.
So you're not even allowed to, like, if you've got storage upstairs, or not allowed to sit on it for a year.
Nope. Like we do balloons, like our Mother's Day balloons that we do. This is like huge insider information that people don't know where I work. Though.
Corporate. Insider trading going on.
Say like Mother's Day, Christmas balloons, all that. We can't use those same balloons for the next year because they're going to come up with some new designs and whatnot. So we have to get rid of them. And
that's crazy, man.
We just throw them away.
How would the general public even know?
Yep, exactly. Yep.
It's not like those fad T-shirts that celebrities are wearing, and then you sit on them for a year and then bring them out. You know.
Yep.
Anyway, Laurence, you had a good week.
Yeah. My birthday was on Wednesday, and got my Geek of the Week.
Oh wow! Happy birthday!
Birthday! Thank you.
Happy belated. That's awesome.
Oh man, I didn't realize. Well, yeah. How was is that going to be your Geek of the Week to talk about your birthday?
What came out on my birthday.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope you had a good day, and when we get to that, like, shout out and tell us everything that happened.
Sure.
But actually, before we get started, these episodes are on YouTube, and then afterwards I share them on podcasting platforms. So if you are watching on YouTube, please remember to like, subscribe, and if you're watching live, please comment along, or if you're watching on the rewind, please let us know what you loved or maybe didn't love about the Supergirl movie. If you are watching on your favorite podcasting platform, again, very similar. Spotify does allow a feature where you can put a comment as well, and that leads us nicely. Actually, do you know what, Laurence? We'll start with Geek of the Week before we do anything else. And Devaughn, Laurence, why don't you go first?
Okay, yeah. So July 1st, Marvel dropped the first 3 episodes of X-Men 97.
Oh yes.
I know you haven't seen anything yet, so I'm not going to spoil anything that they don't put into their marketing campaign. But basically, season 1 leaves off with the X-Men just kind of spread across time. And the first 3 episodes get us back to form as far as just what this story is going to be. And they brought in some characters that I did not think about, given what kind of subject matter we're dealing with, which is time. So it's kind of like, okay, so you've got Apocalypse as your big bad, but there's some really cool surprises. So
I gotta watch
all I'll say is that you guys got to check it out. And if you guys want to do like a committed thing where we go back and watch the original series and like talk about it, like, I'm totally down. So anyway,
it's not Age of Apocalypse stuff, is it?
It's hard to say. I feel like they are probably going to delve into that, but the thing that I liked about 97 was that they kind of amalgamate some stories to help flesh out the world and just make it feel very natural. So
I'm massively behind. I haven't watched season 1. Have you, Devaughn?
No, I have not. I watched maybe the first 2 episodes, but I'm like, it's on my list. I made a huge list like not too long ago of like shows that I need to watch, and like I did it down to like how long it's gonna take me, and like I have like 6 shows on there. It's like 54 hours that I have to watch for like 6 shows.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god, that's a work week. A little.
That's why I prefer movies over TV. But
Yeah.
I mean, with X-Men '97, I'm going to be there every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes you sit down and you're like, oh, how much time have I got this evening? Like, you know, if I watch a TV show, then I've got enough time for another TV show. But then you start to get the addiction thing going, and it's like, well, if I watch 2, you know, I could watch 3. But yeah, that's why with a movie, when you put a movie on, that's it, you know, and then you can go to bed. So.
Yep.
But no, well done on X-Men '97. It is something that's on the list of things I'd like to do and maybe talk about one day. What I really want to do is a rewatch of the actual show that came out in the '90s and then go straight into '97. Yeah. What did you do for your birthday? Did you go anywhere? Did you do anything, or midweek? Are you saving it for the weekend?
Saving it for the weekend. So I mean, yeah, it was just ordering Lou Malnati's, which is our like deep dish pizza here in Chicago, and you know, watching X-Men. So it was awesome.
Nice. And Devaughn, what's your geek of the week?
So this past weekend I watched Call of Duty. They had their 4th major for like professional Call of Duty, and it was in Paris. So I did that basically all weekend. I just watched. It was they started on, I think it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I think. Yeah. And it was awesome. It was a great time. My team ended up winning the championship, so it was pretty rad. So pretty happy about that. So yeah, super rad. Love. I'm huge in like the esports, like watching esports. Like that's my sports. Like everyone's like raving about the World Cup, and don't get me wrong, I'm happy about the World Cup right now. Like I'm super stoked about it. But like when like either Call of Duty or Apex is on, like I'm locked in for that stuff. So
well, your team won the other day against Bosnia. So
yeah, I know that's great. I think we play Belgium next.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see how well. The one thing about the World Cup, I cannot believe Germany is out of it. That was the craziest game ever. Them in Paraguay, that was awesome. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I mean, we've got Mexico on Sunday.
Good luck. That's gonna be.
Yeah, I know. We seemed to struggle against Congo, and then we pulled it together in the last 20 minutes, but that was a pretty stressful game.
Harry Kane is such a beast, man. That dude.
Yeah, I mean,
he's so good.
Did you watch it?
I just watched highlights, but he's so good. He's unreal. Yeah,
I feel like England do this every game. The first half, they kind of seem to be like waking up, or every game it's like finding their feet. Then they seem to go in the changing room at halftime, and then it's like I don't know whether the manager just gives them all a spanking or like shouting at them or whatever it is. Suddenly, second half they come out and they're like, right, let's go, let's play, and then Harry Kane just came in and he equalized and then very quickly then brought it up again and they were winning. And I was worried though because Congo still had a couple of close ones to bring it up to 2-2, and I was like, shit, I don't want them to bring it up now. And then when I looked at it, and I was like, Mexico are next. I was like, shit.
Yeah, that's a grueler. If you guys beat Mexico, like you guys might. Honestly, England might win it all.
I heard some chatter on the internet that Trump wants a Mexico-America final.
Gross.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put that past him wanting something like that.
Whatever, he's a loser. Anyways,
yeah.
Mark, you're Geek of the
Week. I personally don't want that as a final. I just want England in the final. So.
Yeah.
England versus America. There you go.
Sure.
Yeah. Right. My Geek of the Week is a movie that came out in 2019 called Waves. And it is, well, it says it in the summary, a controlling father over his son. And this film, man, like, it's a film, it's almost like 2 films put together. So the first hour or so is like octane fueled, charging energy. Like you can feel the pressure and it's done deliberately. You can feel the pressure that the father puts on the son. He's like in I don't know, high school, whatever, but he's like got to be about 18. I don't know how like exactly, and he's in the wrestling team, and his dad makes him train every night with him and all the rest of it. And then like a series of events happen, like, you know, he gets his girlfriend pregnant. He ends up falling out of her because she wants to keep it. Then he finds out that he's got an injury or something that needs massive surgery, but he doesn't want to tell his dad. And all these things are becoming overwhelming. And then right in the middle of the film, this, I don't want to ruin it, but this like massive party, and he does something really, really stupid. And then suddenly, like, it's really cool as well. You know, the ratios on the screen, they have the ratios one way throughout the entire thing that follows the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the moment this incident happens, the ratios change to like
cool.
the square format. And then that sort of ratio carries on for maybe about 5 minutes or 10 minutes following the immediate aftermath of this incident that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ratios change again. And then the rest of the film then follows his sister and the aftermath of what happens. And it's a completely different style. It's very still, very quiet, almost very slow motion. And I read a couple of comments on people online going, "Oh, I was a bit bored in the second half." But honestly, I really appreciated the impact of the things that people do, and then what you have to then live with it by the actions of other people. And it was very like kind of jarring, the different points of view. And it was amazing how the director's a guy called Trey Edward Schultz. I don't know what else he's done, but the way he I've just clicked on it. He's behind that new Cape Fear TV series, and he's done a couple other films I've not watched. But honestly, the way he managed going from high octane fueled emotional pressure cooker drama into this really still quiet journey of somebody that has to deal with the consequences of somebody else. And I was like, man, like, yeah, it was a really good film. I was like really into it. And I keep seeing the poster for Waves like everywhere I look. And but anyway, I watched it. It's Geek of the Week. Honestly, shout out. And I know this won't be for everyone. It's indie cinema. There'll be a lot of faces you recognize in there. But yeah, there you go. That's my Geek of the Week.
Heck yeah.
So,
I love that.
right, okay. So let's talk about some news, guys. Geek news.
Yay!
There's one particular subject which kind of rolls into several items. We're going to start with it. PlayStation is ending physical games from 2028. And that went on the internet about 2 days ago, and the whole of social media, mostly Twitter, is on fire. Very quickly, Xbox kind of followed suit and announced something very similar. But to jump back a little bit, PlayStation also announced in their same thing that they are closing the digital store for the PS3 and the PS Vita, which people have referenced, you know, the concerns in moving to digital and online stores closing. But a couple of weeks ago, PlayStation also announced that every single movie that you may have purchased through the PlayStation Store for Studio Canal, basically their license agreement has ended, and therefore any movie that you've purchased, essentially you now can no longer have access to. So that means you haven't really purchased it. You purchased a license agreement. And so I think there's a concern here, but we'll open it up and have a conversation about it. But there's a concern here that moving to a purely all physical controlled, you know, so you're buying a PlayStation console and it's only a PlayStation store, and there may be licensing agreements that Sony has with other third parties. But the concern here is by a lot of people is we're not purchasing digital stuff, we're just purchasing licenses. And so there's a little bit people quite upset with it. And I don't know as much about PC gaming as Devaughn will be able to help us out with. But from what I understand is when you purchase whether it's a PC game through something, whether it's Steam or whatever, that you own that particular game. Is that the case?
I would say yeah. I mean, so my whole take on this is, you know, I switched to digital only a while ago, just because I kind of knew this is where we were going to be headed, right? I mean, physical media is a dying thing, and that, I mean, it sucks, right? I will say, like, for most people, like, that sucks. Everyone likes to have a collection. People that love to collect, they like to have something that they can look at, and I completely get that. I was one of those people for a very long time. Then I was like, listen, I can't do it anymore. Like sometimes it just gets cluttery, things like that. My girlfriend loves DVDs. Like she loves DVDs, and I've told her, I'm like, DVDs are great, but it's just such a dying thing. And I mean, the price that it I think it's like $10 for every disc that is made for like video games. So like that's a lot of money that they're pouring into it. So for them to do this, I mean, I will say, I think Rockstar is the ones that kind of set this off for PlayStation to start doing, because they announced that they were not doing a physical disc, right? And they kind of have like a slight partnership with PlayStation right now, I believe, like marketing wise and stuff like that. So for them to jump that gun and do that, I think that just set PlayStation into kind of a frenzy to do that. And then the new system coming from Xbox is going to be a PC console hybrid. It's obviously also going to be digital only. Nintendo does like game key cards, which there's no actual game on there. It's just like we were going to this digital age for a long time, and it does suck, but I can see like from a business standpoint why they're doing it. I just do feel bad for a lot of people that want to have that collection. Go ahead.
Also, no, I was going to say, you mentioned about Grand Theft Auto. I looked into this following this news. Was apparently the game discs themselves, the maximum size they can put on there is 100 gigabytes, and Grand Theft Auto 6 is meant to be closer to 200 gigabytes the size of a game. So there's no way it can ever go on a disc, which I didn't know at the time when they made the announcement there'll be no physical game. And obviously a lot of people got upset about that, saying, well, I'm not buying it then. But now looking at it, apparently this is something that's been going on way over 10 years, that they knew that these limitations were in place on discs. So at some point it was going to happen, but no one's wanted to invest in the technology to create bigger size discs. That's just something that no one's really been interested in. And then I guess my other thoughts were you're closing you're stopping physical and you're moving to these platforms, and there's a couple of things here. One, that creates a monopoly, but two, the lack of jobs now from distribution, manufacturing, retail, bricks and mortar retail stores, secondary markets. We've got a huge chain in here in England, or in the UK, sorry, called Computer Exchange, which is all secondary market stuff. It's all, resale. So all of those things, all of those massive level of jobs that are going to go because of this. And then the prices of PlayStation, a lot of people have been screenshotting it. Like, I think one of the Uncharted games, for instance, they were like, Amazon's got this same game as £40, where the PlayStation Store's got it listed at £70. So, how is it then, if you're making all these costs cutting on the production side of the physical game, well, then why is the digital game just not the bit that really you need to make a profit? Why are we now charging it still at 70, which is just completely pure profit for Sony? So, I mean, it's not pure profit for Sony. It's got to go off to the people that make the game, but there's now no manufacturers or retail stores involved. So. Exactly.
And like that whole thing kind of sucks, because like you said, mom and pop shops, right? Those are going to go down. Like, they're just going to go away with all this. I will say Nintendo's kind of been like mitigating this. They do their physical at, say, like, I think the newest Yoshi game came out physical for like $69.99, right? But digital, you could buy it for $60, so $59.99, which is nice. I mean, they give you that $10. It's still a lot of money. Like, Nintendo never discounts any of their games. Like, they just don't do that. And like, people, it's so weird, because like, people, I feel like there's a vast minority that cares, and like the majority is just like, well, I don't care. I'm going to pay the money. Like, and that's like, that's what gets us into positions like this, right? I mean, you've got all these studio closures from Xbox. They're closing down all these studios. Sony's closing down studios, all that, because they just want more money. And
that's what it's about, more profit.
The people at the top aren't willing to take a pay cut to help, right? Or anything like that. But like, it's business. Which
what do you think, Laurence?
Yeah, so I mean, like, my gaming days, I feel like have slowly started coming back, but my problem is that there just aren't enough titles to keep me interested in like modern play. So I've got a plethora of like physical media. I am a physical media person, so I mean, like, closet is just all DVDs and video games. But Yeah, I just find it really weird that it's like they want more money, but like they're not putting out the titles for me to buy. So I'm going backwards. But then, yeah, like I just feel really bad for anyone who has their digital library. My boyfriend is digital. I'm a physical media person, so I'm waiting to see which movies they pull from there. I think they've already mentioned it's going to be like Terminator 2 and like Rambo. Luckily, I've got that collection all set to go, but it's just like, it's weird when you talk to people like about streaming. And like, again, I like the convenience of streaming, but it gets to a point where people are like, can I borrow that movie from you? I'm like, oh yeah, I guess they don't have that anywhere. Like, just in terms of not just Netflix, but you can't just buy it from like Amazon Prime or whatever. So it's a weird cycle to be in. I hate that physical media is going away, but I think it's going to be more of like vinyl, where it's just a boutique thing. And so I'll always invest in that. I think I've bought the Transformers, the movie 1986 version, like 9 times at this point or something like that. So they'll get my money, but like, it's always upsetting when, you buy something and then you no longer have access to it. I think that's really jacked.
Yeah. It's messed up, right? I mean, that's the whole thing. I'm making this purchase so I can keep this forever. And now you're telling me that it's going away. Like,
I think some people have said they need to change the wording when they're selling stuff online to say this isn't a purchase. This is a purchase of a long time license. Yeah, like essentially a long time rental, which we can take away from you at any disclosed point in time. And I mean, no one's ever going to word something like that, because they're going to be like, well, I don't want to drop 70 quid on something you might take away in 3 years' time. So yeah, and then it comes along. I don't know. Like, I think for me, I started to think, well, if I'm going to buy digital, if I want to keep gaming, am I going to buy digital just for PlayStation? And then that's when I started to think, well, if PlayStation and Xbox are going down the digital only route, and it's only going to be their store on their platform, then why should I buy a physical device that's linked to one store? And that's where I think, like, wouldn't it just be better to go down the PC gaming route? And you've got multiple stores, and there's a lot more, a bit like iPhone, you've only got the Apple app store, but on the Android you can have other app stores if you really want to. Now, you obviously have the Google Play Store, but equally I've got Samsung. There's a Samsung app store, and wouldn't it not be better to? I don't think PlayStation are like this, but I reckon in the end the competition people will make PlayStation and Xbox are going to have a PC hybrid, so they're kind of allowing other games to go on their Xboxes. But I think if PlayStation are gonna, I think they'll come under fire. I think they may either be forced to put other stores on there, or something may have to happen. They're gonna have to budge slightly, I think. So I will tell you, they have reverted back. So they were, a lot of their first party games like God of War, Horizon, Ghost of Tsushima and stuff like that, like you could buy them on Steam. Right. Spider-Man 2, I think all those games are on Steam to purchase. They have said that they're going to stop porting a lot of their games over to PC, right?
Because of this. Well, because of Xbox now, they basically don't want their games to be on an Xbox, right? Like that's their thing, right? And it's like Xbox. So Xbox knew they lost the console war, whatever, when PlayStation just went ahead, and that's why they did their whole everything's an Xbox campaign. Like, you can play Xbox on your phone, on your laptop, on your TV, on your iPad, all that stuff. They're like, might as well, like, we just want to get as many people as we can to play our games, and that's why they started letting their games be able to be played on PlayStation, right? I think they released almost every game that was shown at the Xbox showcase besides 2 games are coming to PlayStation. The new Halo remaster, whatever, campaign evolved is coming to PlayStation. That's huge. You would never see Master Chief on a PlayStation back in the day. No. And now it is, right? But PlayStation, Sony's always been like this. They don't play nicely with anyone.
But do you think this might come back to bite them in the arse, this announcement? Do you think it might?
I don't think so. PlayStation's just so weird. I really don't think so. They're gonna be fine. I really do think so. And if they do come under fire, good. They deserve it.
Part of me hopes that it impacts sales. I think if that's the only way it's ever going to change things, if they don't get the sales that they want. But I just don't believe it will. I just think there's a lot of people that do buy digital, and that'll be enough for Sony to maybe live through that next generation.
Well, and that's the reason I find it so weird that we're getting so many remasters. Like, I mean, I'm going through the Final Fantasy games right now, like from 1, I'm in 8 right now. So, but like the idea that, yeah, they're just going to keep remastering these games in the hopes of not just keeping the brand alive, but trying to just keep dipping in on people to like nostalgia by, the new crop of kids who haven't played these games. But it's just like, again, the imaginative, their imagination is just gone, and like, it's kind of killing me.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially with Final Fantasy. I mean, they remaster. If they come out with a Final Fantasy 8 or 9 remaster. Oh my god, the fans are jumping on that. Like, and they know that. Like, I mean, look at Final Fantasy 7. I mean, they're on their third game, and people are clamoring for it. I mean, it's crazy. And to go along with all this, and I guess put a bow on it for me is like, I'm very priced out, and like I'm priced out of gaming at this point, right? I have the PS5 Pro. I will probably have this system until the PlayStation 7, I would say, because I already know the PlayStation 6 is going to be like $1,000. Project Helix by Xbox is going to be $1,000. The Steam machine is $1,000. Like, for the base model, it's $1,000. That's a lot of money for me to play video games. Like, I have the Switch 2. I have the PS5 Pro. I've got a Steam Deck. I've got a PC. I'm good. Like, I'm good.
Oh, I did. What do you think of the Steam Deck? Well, accurate. I didn't know.
I love my Steam Deck. I absolutely love it. And I bought the base model. I think, the LCD model, not the OLED. And I bought it when it was on sale. So I bought it for like $350, I think. And like, for me, like, that was good enough. Like, purchase to justify. Like, I'm willing to spend probably like $500 max. That's it. After that, I'm good. Like, I don't.
So I looked up Steam Deck that you can plug it into your TV and then have a joypad. And do you do that with it?
Yeah. So I bought like a dock.
Yeah.
And I like plug it into there. It plugs in HDMI to the thing, and I can plug it. I can connect one of my PlayStation 5 controllers to it, and it works.
Does it automatically recalibrate to the screen, or do you have to play around with it a little bit?
You can play around with the settings, but yeah, it does just calibrate to it. Yeah.
Oh well. So that's what I thought after this news. I thought, if I am right in what I'm thinking, that when you buy a PC game through Steam, that it's yours. Like it's a bit like DRM free or whatever. I would rather go down that route now, and then also not just this whole. I know people have got quite upset about owning it, but not just that part, but just the fact that there's probably the ability to have more competition in terms of pricing. Like, I think Sony, I have noticed this for ages, Sony really does price their digital prices so much more above the physical, which is weird. So I think my next console after PS5 may either be a Steam Deck of some sort, or maybe even. I get what you mean about the price of a Steam machine. The idea of paying £1,000 for a console doesn't appeal to me, but I might look at that for something. Yeah, so
definitely. Yeah.
And then if Sony are bastards and make every Spider-Man game and Uncharted and Lost of Us sequels PlayStation exclusives, I may have to be a sellout because and any of those Tomb Raider games, hopefully they are on more than Sony. But if they're not, because I know every now and again Sony manages to grab a Tomb Raider license, but those are the only things that may make me go, shit, I've got to go buy a PlayStation.
I just find it funny that I'm going backwards. I'm playing all like the side scroller beat 'em ups, like the Marvel's Secret Invasion, the Terminator 2 game. The Turtles started that, the collection there. So I'm like, I don't know. I just find it funny that we have to spend this much money on these giant machines, and I'm like, yeah, you guys drop like a Resident Evil game like once every 4 years, maybe 6. That's not a remake, so I'm like, I don't know.
By the way, I'm not anti-buying digital. I just think they should have both options on the table.
I'm with you.
I was speaking to Devaughn the other day, saying I'd come across Luna on Amazon, which I didn't realize that Amazon are kind of just underfunding it and kind of just having a few, maybe like 50 titles on there as part of your Prime membership. And it was something they was really promoting, but now they've kind of pulled it back. But anyway, you said about the scroller fighter game. I was playing the Turtles scrolling fighter game that came out recently. Is it Revenge of the Shredder or something?
Yeah.
So I've got it here, my tablet here. I got my PlayStation controller, linked it to here, and I was just playing the fighting game, played a couple of levels on it. I was like, this is actually quite... I was really impressed with cloud gaming. I've never really done any cloud gaming before. So I was impressed how this is like £100 tablet, not exactly high spec, and there was no lag, nothing. And I was like, this is fairly impressive cloud gaming. So I think Amazon should do a bit more with Luna, but I imagine they've probably given up with Xbox and PlayStation way ahead of them. So
Luna, they dropped Luna. They dropped Luna like a bad habit.
Yeah. Okay, I think in summary, I think it's caused some I think there's some mindset changes around the gaming community, and some people may have to accept physical may not be something they can own. I think if you want to stick with physical, Nintendo have been strangely quiet, and I think you'll probably still see cartridges on Nintendo for maybe even beyond 2028. But let's see what happens going forward. But I think I've always been a PlayStation man. I've bought every single PlayStation from. I haven't kept every console, but as it's been going, I do have a PS2 and a PS5. That's all I've maintained the 2, and I've kept the 5. I got rid of my 4. I didn't see the point in having it, but anyway, there we go. Well, we're going to move on to our main event, which is Supergirl 2026. Before we jump into Millie's first appearance as Supergirl, just thought I might remind us of what's come before.
Ooh. God, Mark, you broke it.
I know. I went a bit crazy with the music. I overlapped that too many times. Sorry, I threw that video together real last minute before the show started. I suddenly, it came to me about 15 minutes before we went live. How cool would it be to do a little montage of all of the Supergirls beforehand? So we obviously had Helen Slater as the original Supergirl in the 80s. Laura Vanderroot made all of season 7, I think, as Supergirl, and then a couple of appearances in season 8 and 9. I think her second episode in Smallville was called Kara, and then her last episode was called in season 10 was called Supergirl. Melissa Benoist had a 6-season show initially on CBS, and then after season 1 moved to CW, lasted 6 seasons. Wow. And then Sasha Calle was in the 2023 Flash movie. Now, I know. Do you know what? When I first watched the Flash movie, I genuinely hated it. I rewatched it the other day, and I think because I've already seen it and I knew kind of how bad it was, I actually strangely enjoyed it. Like the other day, it was a weird change that happened with me when I watched it. But I tell you what, Sasha Calle, I feel she was a good Supergirl. I was actually impressed with her as a Supergirl, and it's disappointing that she didn't get more opportunities to play that character. Well, no, more opportunities to play the character. Like, it's a shame that movie was like the death of the DCEU at that point. I think that was. I think that might have been the final film, maybe.
I thought Aquaman was, but maybe
Aquaman
2.
Yeah, maybe it was. I can't remember. So maybe Aquaman 2 was. I know there was a thing, wasn't there? There was Blue Beetle, The Flash. And, I think you're right. I think Aquaman might have been the last one. Right. Anyway, we've had a long history of Supergirls making their appearances on either big screen or small screen. And before we jump into it, though, I just thought actually let's give Melissa a chance to come on to Geeks Unleashed.
Here's the thing. My cousin and I have very different ideas about what it means to be a hero. He sees the good in everyone. And I see the truth.
The brigands brought destruction to every corner of the universe. The galaxy must be defended.
You cannot give up on me.
Now it's a party.
Well, that might be a problem.
I know it's pretty colorful, but that's just so everyone knows we're good.
I'm going to tell you something. Only one of you is going to make it out alive.
We haven't been formally introduced.
Oh, I'll stop it there. Right, okay. So
Movie's so fucking awesome.
right, okay, so some credits, some fun facts, and then we'll talk about it. Right, Supergirl, written by Anna Nogueira. I don't know how you say that. Directed by Craig Gillespie. Produced, of course, by Peter Safran and James Gunn. Starring Millie Alcock, Matthias Schoenis, something or other, Eve Ridley, David Krumholtz, Emily Beecham, David Cornsweet makes several appearances, and obviously Jason Momoa. Well, right, it was released on the 22nd of June, Brooklyn premiere, and then released everywhere on June 26, as a running time of 1 hour and 48 minutes. A budget of 170 million, and unfortunately, so far it's made just under 84 million worldwide, and still continuing. I think at this rate, it's unlikely to do much more than its budget, but there we go. Right, okay, so I looked up a couple of little fun facts for you before we get started. I thought this one was really, really good. Millie Alcock's Supergirl cape was crafted using leftover fabric, vintage fabric from Christopher Reeve's iconic costume from the original Superman films.
Wow, that's sick.
That is a cool fact, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So the surprise role of Lobo, Jason had to endure up to 4 hours a day in the makeup chair to play Lobo. So from the full prosthetics, the teeth, everything. So
it's not too bad, I guess.
I know. And right, okay. So this film is based off this graphic novel. Well, it was a comic series, Supergirl, One Woman of Tomorrow, and the DC Comics editor who helped Tom King shape this story, Woman of Tomorrow, is a lady called Brittany Holzer. Well, anyway, the planet at the beginning is called Holzer, which is a tribute to Brittany who helped shape this. So
that's awesome.
I thought that was cool. So
that's sick.
All right, the IMDb summary for this is Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl, joins forces with an unlikely companion on an interstellar journey of vengeance and justice when an unexpected adversary strikes too close to home. Right, okay, so that's all that done out of the way. Now we can talk about the film. Yes. Right, okay. I'll tell you what, Lawrence, do you want to go first? Do you want to just give us a summary of your overall thoughts on this movie?
Yeah, so I saw the movie twice. Saw it first without reading the graphic novel, and I liked it. I'd say I was probably like at a 2.5 out of 5. I thought it was okay. After reading the graphic novel and seeing it a second time, I'm probably more at like a 1.5.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
He went down.
So yeah, it went down.
No.
So I've got thoughts, but
yeah.
I'm happy to discuss that.
Yeah, no, go on. Like, what is it? Like, go on.
Yeah, so I think my biggest problem with the movie was just the oversimplification of the story. Like, even without having read the graphic novel, I was kind of sitting there waiting for another big bad, right? You've got Krem as the main guy that she's after. Jason Momoa's Lobo is after another guy in his party. I thought there might be some sort of dichotomy there. You know, is he trying to usurp the other guy? Are they trying to, pull something over the Kryptonians? But, at the end of the day, like, what do we know about Krem other than this girl wants her revenge for her family being killed? And it's just like the editing was so choppy. It just kind of drove me up a wall. Like there was a lot of, trying to do James Gunn's thing. There's a little bit of Christopher Nolan, like wannabe parts in this that like just aren't as good. But again, I had fun with with what they give you, but just after Endgame, I feel like your stories don't have to be epic, but they just need to be more than just like, again, a simplification. Like for anyone who's read the graphic novels, this movie just like guts so much of like the visuals and the story that like by the end of it, you're just kind of like, who are these characters? It's like they're just characters with the names attached to them, but yeah.
I'll give my thoughts in a minute, but Krem is a very one-note villain. He's not fleshed out. It kind of made me. I love the film. I'll talk about it in more detail, but his time in the movie reminded me a little bit of various Marvel movies that we've had, where the villain isn't fleshed out. But look, I had a lot of fun with the movie. But anyway, Devaughn, what's your overall thoughts of the film?
Yeah, I mean, I had fun with the movie. I actually really liked Krem, just for what he gave us, right? I thought he was just, I mean, it kind of reminded me of, I mean, I hate because it's a completely different franchise, but it reminded me of Skeletor, right? He's a villain. He's a bad guy. Like he's trying to do stuff to be a bad guy. He doesn't really have any other motive other than that. I mean, I will say I also was kind of waiting for another big bad. Like I wanted, like, okay, here's Lobo, right? Lobo's here. You can already see that there's some, like, he's already annoyed with them in the movie. Like he's already just like super annoyed. I will say the one thing I didn't like with them meeting was like her going Valley Girl. I really hated that part. Yeah. Like that took me out of it because I was like, he doesn't know who he's an alien. Like he's riding a motorcycle through space. Like he doesn't know. He's not going to know what a Valley Girl. No one here is going to know what a Valley Girl is. Like they're not going to know anything about Earth or anything like that. Like they're not going to get it. Like, so that irritated me a little bit. Like I still had a lot of fun with the movie. I do like that, like Krem got a little smart there. Like he's on a planet with two suns. Like that's because he knows like before she explains who she is to the girl that she's with, before she like who like what she like what race she is, Krem already knows. He already knows. Like he knows who she like what she is and everything. Like to me that was smart. But I mean I had fun with the movie. I enjoyed it for what it was. I didn't read the graphic novel, so I couldn't even point to that.
Sure.
I just go to the movie to see it, and I was like, I like the trailer. I'm here for it. I was hoping to get a little bit more like what Superman did. Right? Superman had that. It had Lex Luthor, but then it threw in that twist at the end, right? So I was also hoping for that twist in this one.
Are you talking about the family twist?
Not the family twist. The twist. I mean, that was a good twist, but more so the twist of who Lex Luthor's using underneath the mask. The person that they're controlling, I guess, to fight Superman. That twist.
What's this? I call her, Legion of Comics. I call her Club Wreck Kara, and I remain mind blown about near every decision made in this film. So. I know the film's been divisive among many people. It's been. Do you guys know what Marmite is?
Yes.
Okay. Marmite, it's like the catchphrase is, you know, love it or hate it. And you know, and I think this film has been a very Marmite film. And look, I went in there and I enjoyed it. Look, I've read the graphic novel too. Tom King is not my favorite author at all. He makes his work very difficult to read. He really drives a point home. I have heard people joke that you can read his graphic novels or his stories without all of the extra boxes and the story will still make sense. You know, for instance, like when you have a page with like all the word bubbles, although that's probably a wrong example. Like things like this with all of this text here, like you can skip a lot of this stuff. He really just he provides a lot of context. He over contextualizes his stories and to the point of being boring to read. And I've really struggled with Tom King's work in the past, but I wanted to make sure I kind of wanted for me to have read it before I went, and that's kind of a little bit why I jumped back a little bit to watch other Supergirl performances as the week went on, because I just wanted that mindset comparison of what I was. I know I wasn't going to judge Millie based off of a comparison from the graphic novel or the previous actresses that have played her, but it's just because when you're doing a show like this, I just kind of wanted to give myself a frame of reference to actually understand, well, how do I feel about Millie versus these other people, but not actually go, oh, do you know what, she's my favorite or least favorite. But what I do want to say is, having watched this film, it's very different to the graphic novel, and but then I think it was because of the sheer text and slowness of the graphic novel that would never translate well into a superhero action blockbuster film. That they're two very different tonally films. However, also the contrast in tone of this film versus James Gunn's film, I would say the tones are very different. This is darker, more depressing in some ways, like because of her backstory and her trauma. And there's little moments when they throw in the middle cover song, and that kind of make me feel a little bit James Gunn. When she pulls out her iPod and puts her headphones on, I felt that was very James Gunn as well. He loves pulling music into his films. If you go on Spotify, Millie has got a playlist actually where she's got a little introduction, and she built the playlist for how she feels about Kara's backstory, as well as listening to that earlier. And she's got like, Millie's got a little voiceover at the beginning of the playlist saying she created it for the character, and she's like, watch the film, listen to my playlist, try and understand a little bit about Millie's journey. So I felt like you had those two different contrasting tones. Of course, the film writer has come out since the release and pointed out that she misread the story, and that had to do with the film being very different.
So like I will just chime in on that. I thought it was so funny reading the story. And again, I don't need to compare this movie to the story, but the weirdest thing about the story and Tom King's writing and this movie is that I feel like when Tom King is writing certain sequences, he will talk about things that are much more interesting than what you're seeing on the page. And there are times where this movie does the same thing, where it's like Lobo gets captured off screen. Lobo is supposed to be this like super badass that like Supergirl knows about. He has like a, I'm losing the word there. He's got, some sort of presence that she is aware of, that he is a dangerous man not to be messed with. And yet in this movie, he never really shows that side of him to me, where I'm sort of like, okay, he's supposed to be this badass, but like he gets captured, kind of throws some grenades, runs around, and then just like, I'm out of here. And it kind of matches what the animated series did with him, which is fun. But it's just like, again, if you're telling me that this Lobo is someone to be feared, I don't know if I necessarily see that in this movie.
I think that's fair. So go on.
Really, the only time you like saw it was when he like gets stabbed on the ship, and he's and he like rips the sword out, and then he just keeps going, and he's just like, I agree, because like for her to be as strong as she is, but to fear him, like she's afraid of him, right? Like, don't go talk to him. Like, we don't want to associate with him, right? Like, I feel like you could have gone probably another, if you added like maybe another half hour to this movie, delving into like all that stuff. Like, you either have to do another 30 minutes of this, or you do a short like Lobo something before this movie comes out. You know, I mean, with Jason Momoa to like give that context, or like have 2 separate stories in here, back and forth, or I don't know, do something. I agree. I 100% agree.
I think what I did enjoy was Millie's performance. I felt like she really was quite raw and emotional, and clearly very damaged, and that was demonstrated. And this film starts with her going on an intergalactic drinking binge, which I think is cool. Like, you know, she's like, the whiskey doesn't hit on a yellow sun, so she goes off to a red sun to you know, get some alcohol in her. And I know, Laurence, you probably, on the second viewing, you probably were a bit like, oh, this, you know, the graphic novel. In the graphic novel, she's 21. In the film, she's 23. Right. And I know that's like really me being like picky there. I didn't particularly care that the ages are different, but you just like, having read it, you're like, oh, like a slight difference. But and even on the little ship where those people come on, I was wondering how she's going to get her powers. And in the graphic novel, it's basically through drugs, and
she takes like a red kryptonite pill that kind of,
and I did think, are they going to introduce drugs in this film? And I know they didn't, but look, I loved her performance, and what I also loved was I felt like we got a lot more backstory on Krypton, which I really enjoyed as well, considering, to go back to Devon's thing of one of the twists at the end of Superman's film was the parental, you know, were his parents maybe bad guys. Kara's parents were clearly not bad guys, and we got the bottle city of Argo, which was cool, which obviously is from the comics. I love the fact that we get to see that, and actually she has a good life growing up, getting to know her family before they even send her off on a journey with Kal-El. And when she does arrive to Earth, she arrives very alien, different language, does understand her. She hasn't grown up with it. She actually got to grow up with the life that he never got. And so there's this conflict that they create in the film through Cornsweat's various flashbacks and then current appearance at the end, where he's trying to get her to spend more time on Earth, trying to get her to sort of invest in him and the family, that dynamic that they have, and kind of the life in Metropolis that he's started to build, but where she's torn of maybe just finding a home, really, I think. And then I think the relationship between her and Ruth I enjoyed, because it became that it kind of forced her to grow up a little bit and accept some responsibilities, and that kind of made her become, I felt like, a stronger Supergirl as the film went on. I did wonder whether she was going to do the Love and Thunder thing and take bloody Ruth with her, which I'm glad that she didn't. So but I did feel like, where's Ruth going to go? It was a deliberate line of, I'm going to stay with my auntie. But look, Jason Momoa, I struggle to say his freaking name, Momoa, whatever his name is. Been a huge fan of him since Stargate Atlantis. That's where I first saw him, and I think he was born to play this role. I love the fact that he texted James Gunn the moment he got announced as co-CEO, like, you know, something along the lines of "Lobo, let's go" or something. There we go. So, if Krem's goal is to kidnap brides, why didn't he take Ruthie in the beginning?
That's a great question.
That is a good point. Yeah.
I just don't know if there was something that she said about her being mature, but I don't know if wasn't she 13 or something? Yeah, but I don't know if she was mature enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if she's hit that point yet.
Like, and like that kind of just goes to the larger part of this, right? Like, in the comic books, Krem isn't just a regular hunter. Like, he uses bows and spears. Their planet has never seen technology. It's like Star Trek, where you're not supposed to know about what goes on beyond the planet. And I think that there would have been a more interesting idea with, like, Supergirl fighting a human on a red sun planet. Like, when their ship blew up, I was like, oh, are we going to be on this planet like the whole time? Because it's just like all the trailers show this like kind of drab brown kind of planet, and then it's like, no, we're going around the universe, but every planet looks exactly the same as far as just how run down it is. Minus like the gas station stop, which I like. I'm so blown away at how much this looks so pedestrian and Earth-like. You know, like her Slurpee looks exactly like it would at 7-Eleven. So I was waiting for the ad to just start, and I'm like, what is this? Like, but you know, I don't know why he wouldn't have done that, other than like, it just feels like the story kind of in my opinion, probably kept changing behind the scenes as far as what they were adding and what they were taking out. But because, like, I mean, by the end of this movie, again, I feel like so much of it doesn't really connect the way I want it to. And again, I liked it the first time around, but it was still kind of sitting there going like, yeah, I don't really know who Supergirl is. And I've been doing this deep dive of Supergirl since then. Like I read the Tom King comic, in a day, watched all the animated stuff with Supergirl, was watching the pilot of the CW or the CBS show. And it's like, I feel like Melissa Benoist is probably the closest to like a very personalized version of Supergirl, but the problem is she's just kind of riffing on what Christopher Reeves's Superman was.
Yeah.
So I just feel like we've got a blank slate for Supergirl, and this movie didn't really add too much more to the character. I love the depiction of her being a drunk, like when she shows up at the end of Superman, she's like, "Where's my dog, bitch?" And then she like flies out. So I was like waiting for that. Like if they did a little bit of drugs, I would have been like, that makes sense. Like she's going to have to learn by the end of this story that she can't just be partying all the time and that she has to be like much more mature. So like I thought she was going to leave Krypto on the planet with Ruthie, but she was just like, oh, I'm going to invite this girl to come party with me one more time. And I'm just like, I don't buy that relationship as much as I thought she was going to leave Krypto with her. But again, Krypto wasn't really in this story enough for me to think that Ruthie and him have a relationship.
I just actually, there's a couple of things you just said there. I'm going to come back to Legion's point in a minute. So Legion mentions here CW's production is cheap, but she did a faithful job. You mentioned Melissa Benoist. When I rewatched the pilot the other day, I did feel that she was very similar to the 80s Superman films in terms of how she played Kara. I felt like it was very similar to the Clark Kent of the 80s, the sort of nervous bumbling idiot type in the office. I felt Melissa played very similar, her secret identity to that. But I want to come back to Legion's point here about the murder at the end. When Kara makes that decision to murder Krem, I was really hoping she wouldn't do it. I'll be honest, and I really hoped we weren't going to go down that road. And because throughout the whole film, she's been saying, "No, you can't do it, Ruthie. You can't do it. You can't. It lives with you. It lives with you." Yep. Now, I sort of, when I saw her decide to take his life, I was like, okay, she's doing this as a moment of protection for Ruthie, but also I feel like she thinks, "What can I do with him?" And then I started in my mind questioning, well, are there prisons in space? Is there law and order? I don't feel like there is on a lot of these planets. Maybe some planets have it, but what you've shown us in all these films is not really much in the way of law and order. So what could she truly do with him? Now, I mean, murder is a jump, but I know he is equally a murderer. And then it comes down to the whole moral thing of, one eye, eye for an eye. I just didn't really like the fact that we've now got David Cornsweet, the really sweet Superman. Like she said, he sees the good in everyone. I see the truth. And I think they tried to create that distinction between the two of them with their backstories. I don't know, just throw out there, guys, what did you think of the fact that she chose to end the movie that way? Well, not the movie, but that storyline.
I mean, I'll go first. I mean, here's my thing. I don't see a problem with it. Right. Yeah. She's completely different than Superman. Right. Yeah. Superman grew up with a loving family and all that. Right. So she grew up on a planet that was not only dying, but also her mother dying in front of her. Yeah. Her mother dying in front of her. She's being sent to this planet. Mind you, she's being sent to this planet where when they sent Superman off, they said, "Oh, he's the great conqueror." Like, I guarantee she was probably thinking she's going to this planet to rule it with Superman, right? Like that's my thinking. They don't delve into that because they don't go deep into that story or anything like that, right? So, which is okay, that's fine. But I don't see a problem with her murdering that just because I feel like she's just gone through so much trauma already that, Ruth has gone through some trauma too, but she's young. She's young. She's trying to protect her. Like, she can shoulder that because that's what her and Superman do. They shoulder a lot of stuff for other people. Am I saying that it makes for a good story for her? Absolutely not. Do I think it was dumb? Sure, I do. But what is she going to do with him? I
that's agree. What I mean. Yeah, what are you going to do?
I mean, at that point, you know, have Lobo do it. Call him over. I mean, he was excited for her to do it. Like, I don't really know. I can't really say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm of the mind that like I don't mind her killing him in that, like, again, I don't really have a point of reference for Supergirl like being like that's my Supergirl kind of thing, right? So I'm like, all right, tell me who she is. And her killing him, it's sort of like, okay, she can do the thing that Clark can't if it comes down to it. But the problem was, I just like, again, I feel like their age difference wasn't really clearly defined, even though they have her drinking and, you know, Seth Rogen's like, you shouldn't leave your daughter behind kind of a thing. But it's just like, I feel like there was no growth from Supergirl to say that she would be willing to make the hard choice. And like Lobo, like, again, I would agree, should have taken him. I mean, if we're doing everything in the kitchen sink with Superman, why not have like Green Lantern show up and like take him and like be all like, hey, here's a splash of color, here's some green energy kind of stuff, and be like, we'll take it from here.
Yeah, that's a good point, because they do have the Intergalactic Police Force, which is the Green Lantern Corps. So
because then, like, again, it's weird that like we're on a different planet, and then like the musical band starts playing "The Girl from Ipanema," and I'm just like, are we going to say like maybe, you know, the Green Lanterns have been here, like Guy Gardner loves this song, so we're going to sing this or whatever? And you know, like it's just like, again, there were a lot of moments in this movie that were cool, but I don't know if they justified it or earned it or like even really made sense for it to like link together. But I was fine with it, but I just, again, I think that there needed to be more, like, especially with the needle drop, right? Like everyone's making fun of the in the middle, you know, David or Craig Gillespie had you know, directed whatever movie. I'm fine with the needle drop because like I'm only annoyed because I love the score so much in this movie. But I feel like music was such a big part of Superman, like what is punk rock kind of a thing. If you showed a moment with Lois and Superman showing her music and her choosing her own choices, like the fact that she made her own playlist, that should have factored into the story, and then like kind of, you know, show that to Ruthie, right? She can hear a song that's inspiring to her, and, you know, now it kind of plays into their relationship. But I don't know. Like,
I love the needle drop though. I was like, when that version of The Middle came on, I love that song anyway. But I enjoyed the cover. I've actually listened to that cover a couple of times. That's what made me go and seek out the Supergirl playlist. I just typed in The Middle Supergirl, and then I found a playlist, and I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna listen to a few of these songs, and I liked it. And I like the fact that we have this stylized sequence. Actually, what I want to talk about is a couple of moments I've enjoyed. I did enjoy the fight scenes at the end. I did enjoy the needle drop. But one of my favorite scenes was the weird sort of taxi coach thing that Millie's version, Supergirl, has to get on with Ruthie. These pirates all get on it.
The
and she's like, I've got a plan. And I loved how she actually saved the day, you know, getting in the space costume. Doesn't quite go to plan. Here we go. Honestly, Kara and Star-Lord compare playlists. I'd like to see that too. I'd like to see Kara and Star-Lord suddenly run into each other on a planet. That'd be pretty cool. So, but that whole minibus sequence or whatever it was, taxi, I loved every moment of it. Just, you know, the Ruthie thing, her trying to start to looking after her thinking that she's got a plan, getting on the costume. The spacesuit, about to put the helmet on, and she's like, realizes too late. And then I love that she gets sucked out to space, and you know that like through the vacuum that she's going to end up suddenly coming in line with a yellow sun. But I thought that whole sequence was amazing. I loved it all. But yeah, at the end with the huge battle, I enjoyed it all. I really have to shout out. I think Millie's performance is great. And you know, when you said I haven't got a Supergirl that's my Supergirl. I feel like every version of Supergirl we've had has been so different. And I know that, you know, Henry Cavill's Superman is very different to David Cornsweet's Superman, but the Clarks are very similar. The Clark Kents that they play are very similar. The Supermans maybe not, are different. And but I feel like most people that have played Superman and Clark Kent have been fairly similar. Over the years, that's my opinion. You know, I feel there's a lot of similarities. You know, I feel like the Supergirls we've had over the years have been very different. So I personally enjoyed Millie's performance. I think Jason Momoa had a lot of fun with his role as Lobo. I think we could have, in some ways, had more. I think they built him up as a really, really horrific sort of bad guy type. If he was this horrific bad guy type, maybe he's the one who should have done the murder at the end. Maybe he's the one who should have killed Kramov to stick with the image that we'd been built up about him. But I guess it's a Supergirl film, so she had to have it. I don't know. I think in terms of pacing, I felt like the movie started off quite slowly and then took a while to get going. I think the first 15-ish minutes maybe were a struggle, but then once it got going, I was fully invested, and I felt there was a bit of that. But yeah, look, CGI wise, look, man, I had no problems with it, like at all. There's no, I don't feel they massively cheaped out or anything. Maybe other people have got different opinions. And then I enjoyed the soundtrack as well. I felt like in the whole, this was a movie that was put together fairly well. But yeah, and like Devaughn, how do you feel like sort of just summarizing that for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie was when they are on that planet that the brigands were on. Not that like the one that they were floating in, but the one where they
with
like,
the green and the yellow.
No, where they meet like that family and they're like, "Oh, our friends are coming to help you like find the brigands and whatnot."
Oh yeah,
like, that planet.
Yeah.
I'm a very big fan of if you are going to kill off someone, like Jurassic World, the first Jurassic World movie, where they're running from the Indominus Rex and the two kids jump off the cliff and they both make it. Cop out. I think if he grabbed one of them and ate one of them, awesome. That's great. Like, what's the oh my god, A Quiet Place, the beginning of A Quiet Place, like boom, right off the, you know that no one is safe. When Krem kills the family that they saw and kills their daughter, I was like, great. That is like, he is a villain. Like I was like, perfect. I know his stakes. I know what he's doing. He is going to kill anyone that doesn't uphold to their promise or anything like that. Like that, he's cut dry, all that. Like that was my favorite. I do agree with, how did Lobo get captured?
Yeah,
how did it happen? When I saw him in there, I was like, well, that's weird. Like you were riding off, like you weren't
exactly,
like, you were gone. Like how did it like I didn't understand it, right?
It's like those off-screen deaths. It's just we just got to accept that's what happened. He got nicked somehow. They overpowered him.
Something happened. I don't know what happened. Something happened.
They put something in his food.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There was one other part that didn't really make sense to me too much. Like I get it's small, but like it's really not that big of a deal because they kind of like fix it. But like when Supergirl is in the cave and she's lying on the ground and she's dying and she tells Ruth, like, I need water. Like water. Like, okay, well, got it. Okay, I understand. Water. Great, cool, right? And like Ruth goes to get the water, but she never comes back with the water. And there's no because it doesn't really matter because the sun comes up and she gets healed, right? Like it just like that just doesn't matter. But like that, like we didn't need that part, right? She didn't need to, like, if she would have heard some voices and she would have been like, oh, what's happening? Like she could have went and gone and seen it and then like that. But like, I don't know. It's throwaway. Doesn't really matter because like it is what it is. But like, I don't know. It felt a little unnecessary in that regard. I mean, I still had fun with the movie. Like the soundtrack was such a great soundtrack. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fight scenes. I tend to just, when I go see movies like this, I just tend to turn my brain off because I'm just I can't. Like I can't do it. I can't think too much. I can't do it. So like I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
I think some people, you said about switching your brain off there. I think some people have difficulty changing how they go to view a film. So like, of course. I loved Masters of the Universe, but do I think the acting and the film is, say, as good as Hamnet or Sentimental Value or something like that? No, they're different films. And it's like Supergirl. You switch your brain off. And sorry, I did cut you off, but I wanted to jump on that point of switching your brain off.
Definitely. But I also thought, to go with what Lauren said, I thought she was going to leave Crypto too. She's like looking at Crypto with Ruth, and I'm like, he knows how to find you.
Right.
It's not that big of a deal. Oh, the other thing, when she flies up into space
Mm.
and she screams, like
Yeah.
after I thought, like, okay, there's no sound in space, right? But Kryptonians are different. I was banking on Superman making an appearance to help fight. I was banking on it. I wanted it. I really did. I wanted it, but like, yeah, it is what it is. That's
a movie, I guess.
A little part of me was like, man, if he just flew in and showed up right now, that'd be awesome. But whatever, you know.
Master of the Universe was a damn good time.
Yes, it was.
For the many times I viewed it at the cinema. So,
I had a blast watching it.
Oh, yeah. All right, Lawrence, do you want to summarize your thoughts on this movie?
Yeah. So, like, again, I just think that the movie got too not even bogged down. It just it took so much out of the source material. And again, this is after having read it, but like even watching it the first time, I was just like, this movie feels way too simplistic for what it is, right? Like, it's supposed to be an adventure where Kara is the Superman who has her powers already and can kind of be reckless because she's this, partying girl. But it's like, again, we've got all these aliens all over the place. Ruthie looks just like a human.
Mm-hmm.
The two the parents that were helping them on the planet, also very human. Like, I'm just sort of like, why aren't we doing more for the cosmic part of this story since we're off world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, my boyfriend said this was kind of the Superman story he wanted, where we're not on Earth. And I just wanted more imagination, because it's like there's like a crazy bright pink and blue dragon in the source material that she fights in space.
Yeah.
The green sun planet is supposed to be a planet that's created for Superman to be killed on, and he's on there for 45 minutes before the Justice League save him. And she, like, in the comics, Kara has to live there for 9 hours and, like, kind of pull it together. And that's the moment where she says, I need water. And Ruthie has to, like, go fight, like, Godzilla and T-Rexes to, like, get the water to, like, protect, Supergirl, because she's essentially dying.
This all happens in that book?
Yeah, and like
Jesus.
the weird part is like when that battle happens in the city and we see the ship disappear, like, and they're just like, where did Krem go? We're gonna have to go find him. It's a white orb, which is what he uses. Like, he's a little bit of like a magic user, and uses that to send Kara to the green sun planet. And I'm just like, again, all these parts are there, but they're not used to the effect that they use them in the source material. And again, I know not a lot of people are going to read that, but if you read that, I feel like you got robbed hardcore parkour. And then as somebody who saw the movie before reading that source material, I'm just kind of like, this is fine. Like, it's a lot of fun, but it didn't feel like it moved the goalpost forward enough for me. I'm excited to see what they do next, because they're going to do Brainiac, and we've got Supergirl and Superman. But yeah, all that to say that I thought it was fine. Seth Rogen's the MVP of this movie. If you want more Supergirl, check out the Legion of Superheroes on Max, HBO Max. It's a Supergirl centric story, and it's great.
I had fun with the movie. I feel like the movie really did struggle to land a decent villain, and I think more could have been done with Jason's character, Lobo, considering how excited he was. Although he has come out publicly and said if they ever make a Lobo film, he wants an 18. He wants, R for you guys. So I hopefully James Gunn goes down that road. I mean, the next film that's coming out from the DCU is the Clayface film, which is billed as a horror. And if they manage to pull that off successfully, that could really shift the nervousness from fan base around this movie. Look, I love this film. I thought I had a real good time. Legion of Comics doesn't trust Mon-El, so yeah. I don't trust Superboy Prime. Is that Superboy Prime?
I'm not familiar with Superboy Prime.
He breaks the fourth wall. He's like the Deadpool of the Super.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, right. So look, I had a good time with this. I think the villain was a bit weak ass. He was, he was a bad guy through and through. Like you say, he was a villain, but I just felt like he wasn't.
He was Ronan the Destroyer.
Yeah, he was a bit like Ronan the Destroyer. I think that.
Mhm.
But look, one of the things I like about this movie was the intergalacticness about it, and I loved the moments of like the little taxi and the petrol station pit shop and the different planets. I loved the fact that we got oh, here we go. He knows what I'm talking about. All right, yeah. So I love the planet with the green sun and the yellow sun, and I there's so much I loved about seeing, and I love the different style between last year's film and this film. Look, I honestly want to shout out Millie. I think she did a good job with this film, and whether or not she was meant to portray or took what she was supposed to take, I enjoyed what she did and what the fun that she had with herself. So
I will never blame the actress or actor. It's usually always the writing.
Well, I mean, also you've got a director there who's on the day. If it's not going how it should be going, that's the whole point of them, is to manage them to look. That director would have worked with a writer before the film even starts to cast people. Or and I know sometimes they tweak scripts on set, but again, a director will be involved and they will see it being filmed, and they do tweak scenes as they're being filmed. So if Millie is not interpreting a script the way the writer and the director wanted to, it's not Millie's fault. Like there's a director there steering her. So yeah, if something wasn't interpreted correctly, it's not Millie. So right, it's ratings time. Lawrence, you've sort of indicated it's a 1.5 for you. Is that right?
Yeah,
I'm sticking to that.
I'm sticking to it. It's got good parts, but like on the whole, like I just think that we should be moving past this point in storytelling, especially with DC trying to catch up to Marvel, right? Like it's not a competition other than the idea of just I want better movies and better story, and there's so much of that in the comics, whether it's this comic or just Supergirl lore, that you could adapt. And it's just like, why not give us a little bit more imagination in something that's supposed to be cosmic and mind-blowing? But yeah, I'm sticking to it.
Sticking to it. Right, okay. Devaughn, what about you?
Yeah, out of 5, I would probably give it a 3.5. I had fun. It's an okay movie. It's fun. Turn my brain off, enjoy it, eat popcorn, have fun. I also agree with Lawrence. I mean, I never really see it as a competition between the two, but Marvel has done so much. Like, and don't get me wrong, they've fallen off a little bit now, just doing shows, and some of their movies don't hit as much. But like, they've always stayed consistent with what they're doing. Their writing's always been really good, and they know what they're doing. I mean, those 3 Batman movies from Nolan are just like they're absolutely incredible, right? And like, you could do so much with DC. You have the characters, you have the stories, you have everything. I mean, everyone's having a blast with the Absolute run. Do that. Do an Absolute run.
Which they're doing an animated series.
They're doing an animated Absolute Batman.
There you go. Do that, interpret that. I mean, you've got all these characters. There's no reason why you shouldn't have, I mean, even if you want to use the actors that are in Marvel movies, I mean, it is what it is, dude. Back in the day when they were doing superheroes left and right, Chris Evans, Human Torch, Captain America, throw it in there. I mean, just do it. I mean, I had fun with the movie. I enjoyed it, but yeah, 3.5 for me.
Oh yeah, so I had a lot of fun with the movie. I've said it already. I think Millie's done a good job as Supergirl. I'll be pleased to see further opportunities, hopefully, for her to play Supergirl. I think I was settling on 4 out of 5 for this. I think I enjoyed it. I didn't love Krem, but he did what he needed to do. But I felt like this movie was much more about her than it was about the villain. The villain was a tool to help Millie's journey, and for us as an audience to get to see more of her Supergirl, but more of the background. And I did enjoy that we got to see the family on Argo, and they were not saying anything about go conquer Earth or anything like that. So I was when I saw they were going to start fleshing out that part of Krypton, I was like, okay, are we going to see these quite vicious people that go rule? But we didn't see any of that. Although it doesn't mean that their parents didn't tell her that, but All right, okay, 4 out of 5 for me. I had a good time with this film, and I I wouldn't have an issue with watching this multiple times. I'd be happy to go to the cinema again and rewatch it.
Thank you.
Right, okay. Next week we are back to. We're going to, like I say, once a month we try to do an anime film, and next month we are going to do a film which Devaughn is not excited about talking about or watching in any capacity. He's been telling me he doesn't want to do this for ages. It's a movie called Akira.
I'm so excited. I've never seen it, so I've never seen it.
All right,
but
cool.
it's got high praise, and I'm so ready. Like, any excuse to watch an anime movie or show or anything like that, I'm here for it. Yeah, I'm super excited.
Have you, Lawrence? Don't give an opinion if you have, but have you watched it?
Yeah, I've seen it. So I've seen a number of the staple '90s anime movies. So I'm excited to revisit that because it's been a hot minute.
My thing is, there's something that happens in that movie so iconic that they put it in almost every form of media. And I'm just gonna say it. It's the Akira slide.
Motorcycle,
so like they do it in almost Sonic does it. They do it in I think Final Fantasy. Like they do the Akira slide, and I'm so excited to see it. I can't wait.
They do it in the movie Nope. Jordan Peele's Nope.
I haven't seen that movie, so I'll have to check that out too. So I'm super excited. I cannot wait.
Do you know, from memory, I've only seen Akira the one time, and it was probably about 20-ish years ago. So I'm really, really looking forward to rewatching this. So when I put together the year schedule, I basically put, I believe, at least once a month an anime film, and we're gonna do Akira next week. So in wrapping up, thanks Legion for joining. We are on all social medias. Come say hello. Again, if you're on YouTube, people like Legion join in, say hello, join in the conversation. It makes these shows much more interesting for us and engaging, so we appreciate you being here. And you can follow us, like I say, on all social medias, and you can, if you're doing podcasting, listen wherever you get your podcasts in, leave reviews. 5-star reviews are much appreciated. And look, we're going to end it there, and we will see you next week for Akira. Yes. But yeah, guys, both of you, Lawrence, Devaughn, thanks for being on. Appreciate it.
Always, thank you.